What's going on, everybody? SeanPierceJohnson here. It is Winter NAMM 2019, and I am at the mighty booth of Boss. A very nice kind of studio setup we got here. And I'm standing here with Jeff, who's one of the product specialists. We are taking a look at the Waza Tube Amp Expander. I am super stoked for this because it seems like loads and IRs are all the rage, and you guys have decided to enter the market with something I think is truly remarkable. So I'm going to let you tell us more about this because you're the guy with all the answers, I think.
I hope I have them all for you. It's a little bit complex, but I think Tube Amp Expander in the name kind of tells you what it is. It really enhances and supercharges any tube amp that you have around. And it does this through several different things. First off, it is a reactive load device, so it's going to allow you to attenuate your amplifier down to nothing or any small volume. But unlike most reactive load devices, right, it's got 16 different speaker cabinets. And people won't necessarily understand what that is. A lot of people are still trying to figure out what reactive load even means. Right. So let me give you a 2-second tutorial on that. When you pass your tubes go out to they make sound and they head to the speaker, we always think of the speaker as being kind of like an EQ, and we heard it and it's like this speaker sounds brighter or darker or whatever. Right. Most of us don't realize that movement of the speaker, because it's a spring and it's a coil, it creates voltage, and that voltage goes backwards. And it's not like flat frequency response like 16 ohm, it comes back in different curves. Yeah. Those curves feed back into your transformer and back into your phase inverter. You adjust it every day. It's what your presence control is actually adjusting, is that coming back in. And every single amplifier, when it's connected to a speaker, sounds different depending on which speaker it's connected to. So a lot of the reactive load devices that are out have one reactive load. Well, it doesn't work for all of us, does it? Right? No. Because if I go to plug my big 100-watt head into something, right? It's going to be a different load than what you would have for your 112, for example. So with this, we have 16 different loads, and there's not one 412, there's 4 412s, because greenbacks are different than vintage 30s, are different than D12, D75s or something like that. So once I have that in there, I have a continuously variable control on this, so I can roll the volume up and down slowly. I don't have a stepped response. I can move it as I go. Once I've got that, and I've got the amp sounding the way it wants to, I've got the volume control, that would be a great set of features already, but we go much further than that by adding a reverb. I can turn the reverb up and down, and I can give you reverb effects in the amplifier. So imagine that old Vox AC30 you got laying around from the 60s, right? You can now add reverb to it. That old Plexi head, you can add reverb to it, and that would be cool as hell, but there's even more. So if you go up here, we allow you to now add effects loops. Well, how many of us have tried to have our amps modified to have an effects loop put in it, only to ruin the tone?
Yeah, that's probably just about everyone who's done that mod.
Yeah, it always comes out a little bit sad, right? So now I can give you an effects loop on every amp in your house, whether it had one or not. I can give you a delay and chorus. Sorry, not delay, chorus. Delay and compression. So I have effects that I can put on it. I can put full-time EQ on it. I can put an EQ boost on it. There's a solo EQ boost switch on here. So you put that on the foot switch, hit a button, and I just boosted my volume. Maybe I'll focus a little bit on a frequency that's better for my solo, and it's awesome. So I can add all these things to your device, and what's really cool about it, as I'm telling you this, it's not that it goes out, the direct out. It's not that it goes right to your studio, which it does, but it also goes live to your actual physical speaker cabinets. So it's a pretty amazing thing to have that, enhancement to my live experience, my studio experience, my in-ear monitor experience. It doesn't matter what environment I'm in, this is gonna work really great for you.
It's sort of a great bridge between two worlds.
Absolutely. And then if you are recording, or if you're going out to the PA system, front of house or whatever, there are cabinetlets in there that are included in it. There's 24 cabinets that are included, plus mic position placement, and that you can choose whether it's an anechoic simulation or if it's got a small or large room. And of course, if you have your own IRs, well, please bring them to the party and load them down.
Very nice. Well, we're going to hear just a little bit of that, and I think you guys are going to be just as impressed as I am.
Let's go ahead and show that this is a continuous controller. Because most reactive loads are not. Which to us, we keep hearing Add an effects loop. We're just gonna turn this guy on. Effects like delay. A lot of reverb. Let's show that it boosts. And let's change channels on the amp. So with that I can add, let's make something pretty, add a little bit of reverb.
All right, so there is your first little taste of the Waza Tube Amp Expander, but wait a minute, there's more. What more could there possibly be to this thing?
Well, along with the standard outputs of 2 XLR stereo effects that are going out to your front, to your studio environment, you can also use this thing as your audio interface. So you have a USB port on the back of this thing. Connect that. You can go with just your computer and a pair of headphones. It's how you can monitor back, or you can just use it as a direct in. Just being able to do the direct recording through USB is a really nice feature.
Oh yeah, it's a fantastic way, because I know I love recording stuff through my big 100-watt amplifier, 212 cab. Probably not going to be able to do that for most people, but the fact that we have a reactive load with speaker simulation in on it, you can put in your own IRs, USB output direct to your computer, means that there is less tension, less effort from creativity to putting that thing down to tape, I guess I could say. That means your riffs actually get to live on in the world. I think that is very, very awesome. Now, you guys were teasing this a couple months ago, so you've had some time to toy around with it, but how's the timeline on this? Can we see this fairly soon?
Yeah, it'll be out in May is when it'll actually hit the streets.
Very nice. It actually fits that acronym. Not available, maybe May. Fantastic. Jeff, thank you so much for walking me through that.
Thank you for hanging out with us.
Yeah, this is one of the things that I was hoping that I would get the chance to see at the show, and I am definitely impressed. And if you were impressed and enjoyed what you saw, please show some support. Click the subscribe button. Turn on the notifications. There's more from NAMM coming to you now. For Jeff and the entire Boss team, my name is SeanPierceJohnson, and I wish you all out there great tone and happy stomping. Cheers, my friends.